This is Exp Group Insights, hosted by Anthony Serafino, where global produce, innovation, and leadership connect to drive the future of supply and success.
All right, perfect. Welcome, Exp Group Insights. Another episode here with you all. I'm Anthony Serafino. I'm the host of Exp Insights that we launched this year, and we're so excited to have you all with us as we continue to elevate the conversation, what's happening in the produce industry. Not only what's happening in the produce industry, but what's happening at Exp Group in its 20th year. And we're live from Anaheim, California, and I'm so excited to really bring great content with you all weekend long. And I have one of the key players that is based at our McAllen, Texas office, Priscilla Diaz, who has been with us. Oh my God, it was a year. It's been a year.
Exactly 1 year.
It's been
yesterday.
a year. So I'll tell you a funny story. When Priscilla first joined the organization, her first week, I think, was IFPA. We were here last year, and it was in Orlando, was it not?
It was in Orlando. It was my first day at the IFPA.
First
so it
day,
was
officially.
Trial by fire.
Trial by fire, but not only trial by fire, you didn't even have a business card to your name.
Nope.
Yeah, you
Nope.
were handing out pieces of paper. I think this is my email. I think this works. It did indeed work.
We made it happen.
Well, we did make it happen, and of course, it's been a year since you've been at the company. And how's that experience been?
It's been amazing. I was just talking to Hector from Atipa, and I mentioned the opportunities.
How amazing is he?
He's amazing. The whole team is great. I was just telling him, I said, it's been the best decision, the move, the opportunities that I've had, the team that we've built. The team keeps on growing. The sky's the limit. I feel like there's so much we can do. We've accomplished so much in 1 year. We're here now. We've been busy.
What a nice setup over
Beautiful
here, right?
Setup. Our coffee machine has been rocking and rolling.
Coffee is great. We could use some coffee right now, probably.
Yes.
But it's been a year, and the culture is growing, and everything we're about, right? Quality, service, brand, culture. You see that on an everyday basis, do you not?
It's very important. It's very important. It helps build your team. It grows a relationship not only within the team, with your customers. Everything here is about relationship and culture.
You know, you said something, Priscilla, that's so true. Relationship and culture. And, you know, you see other sectors and other industries and what they're doing. I feel like that's not really the ethos for a lot of other industries, but you see our industry, produce, people, culture, relationship. That's the ethos of it, is it not?
It is, absolutely. And it's not only within our company. I feel like there's a lot of people, other companies as well. We've built, we always keep good standing. We're good with each other. We take care of each other. We help each other out, right?
Yeah.
We're all in the same competitive nature, but we all do a great job. And it all comes from, we're very secure in what we do, and we have great relationships, like I said, and it helps build a strong foundation.
I think a strong foundation is exactly what we want to do, but this organization and this industry is built on that foundation, and you see what other companies are doing, but it just kind of reminds me of what we're doing, kind of running our lane of building something special. And I just remember, the first week Exp Group did 80,000 in sales. First week, obviously, there's been a lot of growth since that moment, but it makes you appreciate the run when you're building something great, right? And it just makes me remind the ancient saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. And we're seeing that with our team members in Texas, are we not? I mean, we're seeing such growth there. We're trying to take the valley by storm, and man, do I love the Rio Grande Valley.
Yes, it's really growing. There's a lot of changes coming along. I say in this industry, you have to be used to change. You have to run with it. You have to find the positive in everything, and that's how you grow and you push forward, because every day is a different day. Every day is a different chase. There's always a new problem, a new resolution. Every day is very exciting. Once you get going, you wake up in the morning, you don't know what the day is going to call for. You just gotta go. It's
almost like one big puzzle, right? Mm-hmm. And you're always looking to problem solve. You're always looking to see what the next challenge is, and that's what makes it exciting, does it not?
Yes.
I mean, I think of that, and I look at the produce industry and how we're looking to accomplish what we're set out to do, right? And what are the goals that we want to accomplish on a weekly, daily, monthly, yearly basis. And, it's compounding where progress is made on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. And it's so amazing to see with our location in Texas, now New York coming into play as well, seeing all the growth that's just compounding as an organization is just so fantastic.
It really is. It really is encouraging, like I said, to work for a company that the sky's the limit. Like there's no, since the day I started, I feel like I've had every opportunity. I've had the support that I need. There's no failing because I have everything that I need at my fingertips. I just need to push through.
What does my father always say? Failure is not an option,
Failure
right?
is not an option, yes.
It's his famous phrase.
Yes.
If you're listening. So let's pivot a little bit. Let's talk about Priscilla Diaz personally, growth in the industry. How many years have you been in the industry?
Gosh, I probably over 10 years.
10 years?
Over 10 years. I started with Wonderful Citrus. I've had some great mentors. I've had some people that challenge me. I've had my ups and my downs. Oh my God, what did I get myself into? I knew nothing about the world of produce when I first started. I landed in here by accident.
By accident?
By accident.
Tell me about that.
So my son was going to start school, my one and only. And I said, gosh, I want to be closer to where he's at. I am from Mission, Texas, and that's how it was my first application. I applied at Wonderful Citrus, and I got the job. So I was real close to home. And like I said, I knew nothing other than I had customer service, a background in customer service. So I was like, I can do this, Started up, and we had SKUs and all kinds of, I didn't know there was a size to any type of fruit or a grade, anything like that. So it was definitely like a big shock. I was like, dang, am I going to learn all this stuff? So I loved it. I took it, and like I said, I had great mentors. They taught, they pushed me, and they really helped me get through it. I fell in love with it, and then I ended up.
Who doesn't love this industry, right? Look at this thing. I mean, we got a sumo orange over here. Who doesn't love that? It's just so amazing. You've been in it for 10 years. Did you think you'd be in this industry for that long?
I did not. And it kind of grew. I think I had a lot of support. I know that for women, it can be a little challenging, and it can be, as a mom, sometimes I'm like, gosh, I'm answering late night, and it doesn't end. The industry is constantly going. So there was a few times where I was like, gosh, am I doing the right thing? The traveling and stuff like that. And then I was like, no, you know what? I love this, and I feel powerful doing it. I love the support that I get, the friends that I have in the industry. It's a great time. It's a big family. It really is. And I've fallen in love with it. And now I say, I don't see myself doing anything else. I love it.
Priscilla, I want to drill on something that you mentioned earlier. And you said, as a mom, as a woman, it can be challenging. Why is that? And I think before you answer that, I always want to make an ethos at our organization that, being pro-woman and being pro-supportive of moms in the business, in the industry, is so important, which is why I love to be so involved with In Bloom and what we're doing. You sit on the board there as well. We'll talk about that in a bit. But why is it so difficult being a woman or challenging in the industry?
I feel it's very important to show that we also have the push and the drive. And not everybody. I'm not speaking for everybody on this, and I'm not speaking that everybody is like this, but it can be challenging where you want to be taken a little more serious, right? We know what we're doing. We've learned it. We have the backbone, and we can stand with the guys too, and we can.
Damn right you can.
We can, absolutely. So, and then as a mom, I pick up and I drop off, and I want to be there for my son and show him I have my mom duties too. Get home and make dinner and do these things that's what I like to do as a wife and a mom. And sometimes I'm cooking dinner and I have my laptop next to me and I'm answering emails, or I'm answering, Saturday morning, and my son has to go to practice and I'm working on some things. It can get challenging because you have to. Sometimes it's like, is it your career or is it your family? And I've been very fortunate. I have a very supportive family. I have a very supportive husband. My son, he's grown. He supports me as well, and he sees everything I do. And I hope, you do it I want him to see that I'm, moving forward. I have a career and I'm still a very good mom, and I do things. It's very important to me.
And it's so important. You mentioned something about not only being a great mother, but kind of being in a way, Priscilla, where you're showcasing that your children, your son is idolizing kind of what you're doing and being a strong-minded woman, but being a strong-minded mom and even being a great wife, right? And I think that's so important that, I always joke, I love Cirque du Soleil. And I'm always, my wife and I, Jordan, are always just impressed by how all they can juggle all those things at one time. But in reality, that's kind of a microcosm of a working man or a working woman in this industry, or just in the industries in general. You're juggling your work life, or you're juggling, your private life, you're juggling your marriage, you're juggling being a mom, you're juggling your hobbies and what you're doing. And I think it's so important to be in an environment that is being super supportive of exactly that. And I think our organization does a great job of that. And unfortunately, some organizations don't really prioritize that. And I think that's really counterproductive to the ethos of the organization. It really is. So I think there's a couple other things that I really wanted to drill down on is In Bloom. And In Bloom, we were talking about yesterday. Shout out to Shelly. In Bloom and Tipa and what they're doing in the Valley supporting women, I think is so important. And it's a great conversation to have. How was that experience being involved with In Bloom?
It's been amazing. I think they do a really good job of, every year we have our event at Viva Fresh, and you get to experience that with other women in the industry that are going through the same thing that you are. They have the same questions. You get to communicate with them. You get to make friends. We see them every year now, and it becomes a group of women that are so supportive of each other.
It's like a family, is it not?
It really is. It really is. Shelly does an amazing job putting everything together. We have a Christmas party coming up here soon, so we're pretty excited about that.
Got some details to share about that?
I want to keep it a secret.
Okay,
you gotta
I love
show
it.
up. Maybe you'll make an appearance.
I would love to make an appearance. Does that mean I'm invited?
You can.
I
You're
love
definitely
that.
invited. It's going to be in December, so we are hoping that we have a good turnout. Again, we want to support everybody that in the industry, and it's not only for women.
Right.
Like our Christmas party is going to be men and women. So we want everybody to feel invited and see what we're about. Right.
It's funny because it's not really funny, but it's a lot of people view the stigma of, I don't want to say view the stigma, but view the stigma as In Bloom as it's this women-only event, and that men can't be not only supportive, but can't be invited. And I remember for Viva Fresh, In Bloom was doing a fantastic event. And I made sure to show my ass needed to be there, right? So I really wanted to show not only that this organization is supportive of what women in the industry are doing, but we want to be a big proponent and sponsor of that. So it's important, I think you mentioned, Priscilla, that, listen, In Bloom is supporting, the mission statement is supporting women in the industry, but more importantly, it's open to men and women as well. And I think some people kind of seem to forget that, So last thing I want to bring up is what we're doing in Texas. And I know you're a busy woman. You're all over the sense of what we're doing in Texas. Got anything to share what's going on down with us in the Valley?
Well, we're just growing and growing and growing. I feel, like I said, our team.
Yep.
There's growth. I have never been a part of something that my year went by so fast, but that's how busy.
It's crazy you've only been a year at this organization. It feels like at least 5.
Okay, so I say because our team is so supportive, and I came in here and I have Jesus and Norma and the girls in accounting, it's a family, right? So I went in there and I was welcomed 100%. I was like, man, I feel like I've been here forever. Yeah. We clicked and we've bonded. We work together. We're all moving pieces, right? So the accounting girls are a very important part of our team.
They are.
Our
shout out accounting,
shipping team. Everything has to flow, right? So I think when we are all supportive of each other and each other's roles, it's very important because that's how our machine keeps going, right? So my year went by, it flew by. Absolutely flew by. We've gotten some great accounts. We're growing. We're bringing in new items. We're really pushing.
Yep.
So
please continue to push.
Yes.
Because we're excited, because I think the growth of our produce industry, a lot of it is being supportive, and not only in Texas, but really in the Valley. And just seeing the growth that the Rio Grande Valley has had And you said you grew up in Michigan.
Mission.
I'm sorry.
Mission.
Mission. I said Michigan. I'm thinking Michigan. Shout out to my alma mater, Michigan State. But Mission in Texas. How much has that changed, that area in Texas?
The development out there is insane. Like, I remember, like, even restaurants, and we didn't have very much. Anywhere you turn out, there's something
Packed.
It's
Everywhere
packed.
you go, it's
It is
packed.
so packed. I kind of like the less packed, back then.
Secrets out, Priscilla.
Yeah.
Secrets out.
Yeah.
Valley's
but-
the place to be.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm glad that I get to experience and be part of that, be part of the growth of EXP as we're growing, the new developments, the new hubs that we have coming up. So it's very, very exciting. And like I said, the push is there, the drive is there. I think the whole team feels it. We talk about it, and we're like, this is just exciting.
It is exciting.
It's really, really exciting.
So super exciting, everything we have going on in Texas. Priscilla Diaz, 1 year at EXP Group, hopefully a lifetime to go. Supportive, great mom, better wife, but an even better employee and team member of EXP Group. So Priscilla, thank you so much for being on EXP Insights.
Thank you for having me.
She's amazing. Priscilla Diaz, live here from Anaheim, California. Cheers.